I hope that Philosopher's Stone doesn't mind me copying his videos. He's on BitChute. I've subbed to your channel now, but obviously he's putting out this information and I just thought that I should show it myself. Anyway, go to his channel, sub to him. Thank you very much for showing this, because if you don't know, you don't realise that the people are getting more and more agitated the more they're trying to roll in something we don't want. You know, you get this tiny little bit of information that Paris is they're fighting and doing things there. But so obviously it's not just this country. They've cut off nearly every way to make a complaint. So the people are going to the councils. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Where else are you supposed to go? The MPs don't care because they're out of control.
Thank you all for being so understanding about recamping over to here. I'm Jane James. I am the Mayor of Thetford and also the Chairperson of Thetford Town Council. So, our first part is our 15-minute public question time. We will be sticking to that. There is a maximum of 5 minutes per speaker. So, those are our standing orders and those are the rules that all speakers who come to Thetford Town Council engage with. Obviously, should it become apparent that we need to do something more, we will reconvene another meeting, because we are... This isn't a discussion at this point. I'm making a statement. I'm sorry. If you want this public question time facilitated, we will do so within the rules. If you don't, I will leave.
We'll follow you. Which is exactly what we expect you to do.
So, we have our first question.
13th of December 2022, it was a Tuesday night. I'll take you back to the Norfolk County Council.
It was Tuesday during the day.
You made a decision on our behalf to vote in favour of a 20-minute neighbourhood plan for the County of Norfolk. Since then, we found out that Thetford, along with Attleborough and Rackheath, are to be considered for trial towns for said programme. What gave you the right to vote for me about an issue which is going to dramatically affect everybody? Why did you think that that was okay to vote on our behalf without a public meeting, without consultation, or without any evidence being put before us as to how that's going to affect and detriment our lives, which it will?
I'm really pleased that you've used the word evidence.
Okay.
Because if you refer back to the motion that you're referring to, it said to explore and understand so that we can collate the information and go, is it a good idea or not a good idea?
No, it's rubbish.
Hang on, no. Listen, it doesn't matter about the evidence. The mere suggestion that we should have our lives, it doesn't matter what evidence you collate, collude or gain together at a later date, you should have, as a town mayor, as a town person, in your biography, you talk about, I'm passionate about Thetford. Well, I've got to be honest, there's a lot of people here tonight that are pretty concerned as to why you're making decisions on their behalf without consultation. And I'm one of them. With that in mind, let me tell you now, I don't consent. I don't need your help. And I take away mine. Now, bearing in mind, you've got an election coming up on the 4th of May. Okay? We've removed that consent. We will do our best to make sure that you don't get in, because you're there as a councillor, you're there for us. Okay? You operate for us.
All residents' views.
You work for us. Now you.
I am there to represent all residents.
Yeah, all residents. So who did you ask? Who did you ask? Who did you consult?
There is no... We are going into that exploratory consultation phase.
But you voted.
But you've already made that decision.
Well, you should have abstained and said, well, hang on a second, until I get further information. I bet you even go compare for car insurance. I bet you don't take the first quote. But you've took the first quote from the council. You've followed suit. You've swum with the tide. That's not good enough for us. As a councillor, we want you to work for us. As a Thetfordian, we want you to work for us.
You go back to Bracknell.
Absolutely no way do I consent. No way.
You go back to Bracknell and tell them the people of Thetford say no.
So, as the gentleman rightly stated, it was a Norfolk County Council meeting that motion was put forward to explore. There is no decision yet. We don't have the information available. So we can't make a decision if we don't have that information.
So, has the Norfolk County Council explored Agenda 2030?
And that is part of the work.
Have they explored it?
That is part of the work that they're doing now.
With all due respect, we want a councillor, not a messenger. We don't want you coming back from the county council saying, "Oh, this is what they want." That's not what we want. We've got to be discussed. It has to go through a democracy. I've got to be honest. I've lost all faith in you. I read your biography. It means nothing to me. I policed this town for 13 years. I policed by consent. If the public took away that consent, I was pretty much snookered. You're in the same position. You govern with consent. Well, that consent's going. Trust me, I'll make sure. I'll take it upon myself to ensure that the people of this town realise what is going on. And you can't stop me. You won't stop me. Let me put it that way.
Gentleman at the back, glasses and backwards cap.
It's quite apparent that we're not going to get through everything that people want to discuss with you tonight. Is it possible to re-adjourn this and have more time allocated to discuss what's going on and look at the evidence that you're looking into with regards to the 20-minute timeline to drive?
Thank you. I can't make that decision on behalf of the council, but the town clerk would like to speak.
How about organising another meeting with yourself?
Can I just interject a moment? If I could make a suggestion, possibly the best way forward for this is to have a meeting where we invite Norfolk County Council to come and sit at that meeting, because at the moment they are the people who have the information and we do not.
Our representatives here.
Yes, but I am one of two representatives of the town. The other one isn't here.
However, even as one person, as the same with all our councillors, if they're on a committee, they have a much more in-depth knowledge of what is happening on that particular committee.
We might as well go and hang ourselves.
The thing is, in Norfolk County Council's literature, it sounds great, but having been in Oxford 2 weeks ago, the businesses are closing, the roads are shut, none of the locals really knew the full impact. When we was walking around Oxford handing out leaflets, people were gobsmacked, and the same thing is happening here. People wouldn't know about this unless they've been made aware of it by us.
Sorry, I completely hear what you're saying, and obviously I'm trying to find a useful way forward for everybody involved. Okay, if you hold on a second, please. If you want our councillors to make a decision, a good decision.
The decision's been made.
No.
You ain't got to make no
Hold on. Thetford Town Council has not made any decisions on this. It does. Yes, I know. I'm saying.
There's nobody here supporting the.
Hold on. What I'm saying is that Thetford Town Council has not yet made a decision. So if we want representation to go to Norfolk, what we need is a logical, reasoned argument that is brought to us by the residents that the councillors can then discuss, and they can agree what they're going to take to Norfolk as a representation for Thetford. So, yes, certainly. Well, what we'd do is we'd get the Carnegie. But what I'm saying is, at the moment, you know, we haven't been sent any information by Norfolk or Breckland. And so we cannot make, well, not me, because I'm not a councillor, but you know, you're asking councillors to make, hold on please, hold on please. So what I'm saying is, if all of our councillors, because there's going to be 18 of them in May, they need to have a look at the information, and you all need to write into the council with what your things are. Yeah, of course.
All that costs a lot of money.
Just very quickly, I've got a good suggestion. All the wit and title you just come out with doesn't get taken off my 15 minutes. I want to hear people's questions, and I want to hear that side. We can't use your responses as part of that 15 minutes, because otherwise time's up.
You wouldn't do, no, that's fine. But it's just a suggestion.
Can I just say that I am all for having local services available for local people. I am not there to see people's rights of movement restricted. That is not what this is about. And if it is what it is, if that is what it is about, once the exploration has been done, I will be against it, because it is not right.
It will be quick, it will be steaming a little bit.
I am more than happy to work with you. I'm more than happy to work with you on that basis. I'm more than happy to work with you. There's plenty of us that can do it, but I'm more than happy to give you my contact details. I've got nothing to hide. I want the best for my grandchildren, my children, their businesses, and my life. I don't choose and I don't consent to what they want, okay? But if you're telling me, and please don't turncoat on me, because that would be horrendous for you.
Seriously.
That would end really badly for the council, for everything. I will work with you if you're prepared to fight this with us. If you're not, then we're enemies.
Together, that's what we need to do. We need to focus on what's best for Thetford, and restricting people's movements is not in Thetford's best interest. Getting better local services in our area, as you say, for your children and your grandchildren and my children, and crikey, that's an awful thought, my grandchildren. It is about getting better local services here. If you choose to travel, that is choice, and we are a nation of choice.
Just to bring something else to the fore. Just to bring something else to the fore that you're probably not aware of. Just to bring something else to the fore that you're probably not aware of is that Oxford, one of the trial areas,
listen in, Oxford's being spoken about, please listen in.
Has been split into 6 zones. People crossing from one zone to the other more than 100 times a year are being fined.
Even if you live in the zone.
Even if you live in the zone.
7 in the morning to 7
Now
at
this
night.
is what the thin end of the wedge, and this is where it goes.
We can give you all the information you need. We can give you a lot more than they'll give you, trust me.
This is where it goes. This is part of a global agenda called 2030.
In ensuring that we don't restrict people's movement. I've got a lady
Let's
at the
work
back
together
that's
and be sure it doesn't happen.
I would really like to hear that lady in the back. She has been patiently waiting. Thank you.
But if this does happen, right, my son gets bused to a specialist school out of Thetford, right? How am I supposed to get him to a school in a 20-minute time zone? That doesn't work. There is no specialist school in Thetford for disabled children. There is nothing here for disabled children. You've got 2 doctor's surgeries as well, 1 dentist. What am I supposed to do?
Completely understand, and that is exactly the reason why I am against those restrictions in movements, should they ever be proposed. And I say that because they haven't been proposed yet, but should they be, I will fight that. Councillor Taylor.
Can you all hear me? Can you hear me at the back? Right, I've tried to make a proposal. I can't because of the way the formality runs. So I'm going to make a suggestion to you, the people of Thetford, and guests who come in tonight. We've only got 1 county councillor here tonight. What we need to do, I think at the minute, everybody's made themselves very vocal. We need to get the other county councillors that are on Thetford Council. We need to get Breckland involved, because Breckland sits at the county level as well. I suggest that you suggest to the town clerk and the chairman here, I suggest that you ask for an emergency meeting in a bigger room where you can all get in at a longer period. We get all the county councillors in here and everybody that's got something to say. We are going through what we call in the military command push rather than recce pull. You need to be telling these councillors what you want and what you don't want. Don't let them tell you. But I suggest you ask for an emergency meeting. No, the problem we've got now is we're all crammed in here and I've got you in on a wing and a prayer. If we could get into the likes of the Carnegie room and have a 4-hour session and get the correct people, because don't forget the poor old councillors are in Labour and Conservative, they have to take the whip, they have to do as they're told. You need to put a lot of the main people under pressure by getting them down to our town. Now I suggest the groundswell of opinion is here, let the clerk do her job, let her come out with an emergency meeting in a bigger venue, let's get ourselves ready and get back up there and put everybody under pressure rather than just the one county councillor who's here tonight.
So how are you going to inform us when you get this emergency meeting together?
I would suggest that you have a really fantastic network already in this room, and I'm going to make them work for it.
That's about right.
It's about working together, isn't it? 100%. So if we can utilise this groundswell of support that has been gathered, let's do it.
The thing is, what you've got to understand is, from your position, you are the decision maker that can help us, but we are the troops that are going to do the groundwork. We're the support network that you need.
And the communication is 2-way.
100%. Yeah.
Can I just make a quick suggestion? A quick suggestion for the benefit of the next meeting.
Ladies and gentlemen! I will take one more question. We have overrun slightly, but I'm mindful of an allegation of filibustering, so I would hate to support that. The gentleman in the red gilet, please, you have been very patient.
Thank you very much. I've been studying this for a number of years, probably about 10-15 years now, so I followed it from the Club of Rome formation document, which was called The Limits to Growth, and in that book, or rather in that document, a cabal of ex-Roman dynasty, kind of ruling dynasty people got together and decided that they needed to unite humanity against a common cause, which in order to manipulate humanity into some outcome. So the Club of Rome was produced in 1972. That has then fed into the 1992 Rio Summit, where Agenda 21 was formed. The Agenda 21 wasn't happening quick enough for the elites, so they actually rolled it into Agenda 2030. Now I'd ask, has every councillor read all 17 of the Sustainable Development Goals? Are they aware of them? SDG 17 specifically states that the UN and the World Economic Forum, who are working in partnership with one another, are to circumnavigate national governments and come down with funding at the municipal and council level to ensure that these demonic regimes are pushed through, and then they're going to force through digital IDs, and it's going to be 50 little cities digitally.
Get educated.
You've highlighted some bedtime reading for all councillors. Thank you.
Make sure they get it.
Yeah, get educated.
With that, I am going to close the public meeting period.
For the benefit of everybody. There's a lot of people in that meeting, even if we take it to Carnegie, so everybody can take part for the benefit of us as councillors, so we can actually hear the concerns. Perhaps within yourselves organize so to have 3, 4, 5 speakers in nucleus of information, nuggets of information to make it easier for us to go through that meeting. Because a lot of people has a lot to say. We want to hear those opinions, but if they're collated and we have 3 or 4 speakers on behalf of everybody, it will make it easier for us to go through this meeting without having to hold people for 3 or 4 hours in a place.
Need to give you some pre-meeting reading material
We're all
Can I just-
working together, there's not an issue. It's just to facilitate on the day. I think we didn't want to organise and more straight to the point.
You'll call it conspiracy theory.
So long as we work into the same
That's
aim.
all, I was just suggesting to make
Thank you all very, very much for your time. I appreciate that it's potentially not the outcome, it's not an outcome, but your voices have been heard loud and clear. I have stated I am against those kind of travel restrictions that you guys are so frightened about. It's not right. I did not vote for those. I voted for education and awareness and to learn about it, to investigate. This is how this world works. Thank you. Thank you.
We can help you because we've done the research. That's why we're here. We know what's coming, and if it's allowed to happen, it's horrendous. There is nothing good ever going to come of this.
We can't do those sort of restrictions, so...
We will not be prisoners in our own town. That's as simple as that. And that is exactly what it is.
Everyone's here to fight.
Thank you all very, very much for your time. We are heading back to King's House for the actual main event of the meeting. You are very welcome. Because there are other items on the agenda that do impact our town, and it would be lovely to see some of you there to be aware of what else is happening within Thetford. Thank you.